You know me, SDMT. Big news right here, man. I'm so happy. Christian McCaffrey gets the bag, man. Big bag, huge extension. 4 years, 64 million, man. That gives him an average of 16 million per season, making him the highest paid running back in the league, man. This is huge right here, man. Christian McCaffrey's coming off an epic, legendary season where he had 1,000 rushing yards and over 1,000 receiving yards, which I predicted on SDMT. I told y'all he was going to do it, man. He went crazy, man, and carried that Carolina Panthers team without Cam Newton, who's gone and out of the door now. So we look at this, man. Christian McCaffrey has really moved up and taken over the throne as the best running back in the league when he was a running back that a lot of people doubted. A lot of people thought that he wasn't an every down back, but you can go look at my post. I always said he could be an every down back. He just need to put that work in. He put that work in. You can see from my other video, he gained some weight, gained a lot of muscle so he can carry that load and be an every down back. And he was always a good receiver coming out the backfield. You know what I mean? I always knew he was going to be good because, you know, me, I'm a huge Barry Sanders fan, and I was always researching Barry Sanders' son. And when he went to Stanford, he just couldn't get on the field because they had Christian McCaffrey, man. So that's when I pretty much noticed Christian McCaffrey, and I knew that he can get it done in the NFL. And I looked at his game, his elusiveness, and his catching ability, and his hard work ethic. You look at his father, Ed McCaffrey, who was one of the hardest, working receivers back in the day. He passed that down to his son, and you can see that with Christian McCaffrey. He's a hard worker, man. So this is huge right here, man. Major shout out, props to the Panthers organization for taking care of him. A lot of teams, when it comes to paying running backs, they get super shady and they get super it's just nasty the way they treat running backs. You know what I mean? Christian McCaffrey had 2 years left on his rookie deal, so they did this before they had to. They could have did like the Steelers and used a scumbag move and franchised him, 2 times. One franchise is pretty shady, but 2 franchises scumbag moves running backs because you come in the league, let's say 22 years old, you sign a 4-year contract, you're 26 years old. They franchise you twice, now you're 28 years old. You're 2 years away from 30 years old where the NFL says running backs aren't valuable anymore. So you're not going to get a big deal at that time. So shout out to the Panthers for handling this situation, the best I've seen in a while. Shout out to the Cowboys as well, but Zeke and the Cowboys, they had a standoff, you know what I mean? But the Panthers, there was no need for a standoff. They really appreciated Christian McCaffrey, and they paid him early, which they didn't have to do. They could have franchised him 1-2 years like a lot of teams do. But shout out to the Panthers for taking care of their young star player. And we look at that team, he's been, the major factor on that offense. You know what I mean? You have a running back, rushing for 1,000 and receiving for 1,000. The last running back to do that was Marshall Faulk, a Hall of Famer. That lets you know that, the journey that Christian McCaffrey is on. He's on pace to becoming a Hall of Famer, what he's done in his first 3 years in the league. So we look at it, man. He's definitely, the best running back in the league from his versatility, what he can do. He can be used in the rushing game. He can run the ball inside. A lot of people hated on him because he did 10 reps at the combine at the bench press, and he was an inside runner, which bench press has nothing to do with if you can take a pounding. But he got his muscle up anyway, and he's great. He's doing a great job running that ball in the middle. He's doing a great job running on the outside. He's definitely got great moves and elusiveness. And also, he's a great, weapon in the passing game. Coming out that backfield, he's a hard cover for a linebacker or a safety. So you already know he can get open. The Panthers need to figure out, they got Teddy Bridgewater. Is that their quarterback for the future, or are they just buying time for them to go draft a young quarterback? So we're going to see on that. The Panthers, they didn't take care of Cam in the end. Cam's out the door, but they took care of him before he got injured. So that organization did a real good job. I want to salute the Carolina Panthers, man, for taking care of Christian McCaffrey, man. I love to see running backs get paid, especially when they deserve it. Christian McCaffrey deserves every cent for what he is to that offense and what he is to that team. You bring 2,000 yards, you know what I mean, and a ton of touchdowns to offense, you're definitely very valuable. And that team knows that, so it was a great job of that ownership and that GM stepping up and paying that young man and getting him what he needs. So 16 mil per year. Le'Veon was trying to shoot for that 17 mil per year. Le'Veon helped open the door for these young running backs. Guys like Melvin Gordon, Le'Veon, when you're fighting to get more money into breakthrough, even if you don't get it, it's okay because it helps push that number up so that young running back can come up there and break through, just like Christian McCaffrey did. Now, we know Saquon's will be coming up in a few years. Hopefully, the Giants do the right thing with him, and we already know hopefully he can break past that $16 million barrier and get the 17 mil to 18 mil per year. That's awesome right there. I want to see it. It's a lot of young, great running backs out there, and they deserve it. You know what I mean? Alvin Kamara, he's going to be getting paid soon. I told a lot of people are saying Alvin Kamara is better than Christian McCaffrey a few years ago when he had that huge rookie season. But for me, I always looked at Alvin Kamara as a complimentary back. He wasn't he wasn't an every down back. He couldn't take that pounding. And I told a lot of y'all, people are like, oh no, Kamara is better than McCaffrey. And we see Kamara is not an every down back. He needs another back to help take that load off him so he can, use his abilities in a different way. He's not that every down guy like a Christian McCaffrey is. You know what I mean? That's a special talent, a special running back that can be in there all three downs when it's hard in inside running game, and then you got to also use that be in that passing game as well. So Derrick Henry's contract is also coming up. That's going to be huge. We saw him carry the Tennessee Titans, into the playoffs when him hot and teams couldn't stop him, and he's he's definitely a beast and somebody hard to take down. So, the Titans, they paid Ryan Tannehill over $100 million. I don't know why. They could have got somebody in free agency, or they could have got somebody out the draft to do what he does. I'm sorry, I'm not sold on Ryan Tannehill. I definitely am not. And if they're going to pay him $100 million for him being, maybe a little bit better than average, mediocre, they better pay, Derrick Henry for pretty much. He was the best running back in the league at the end of the year going into the playoffs. Definitely in the playoffs from what he did carrying his team to, help that team go further than a lot of people thought they would. Pretty much playing good defense, not making mistakes, and running the ball will get you far in the playoffs. So that's why you got to reward your great running backs like Derrick Henry, Christian McCaffrey, Saquon, and, Le'Veon. And we're going to see what Melvin Gordon can do in Denver, see what he can do. So, this is awesome right here, man. Shout out to the Panthers for taking care of Christian McCaffrey, man. Congrats to Christian McCaffrey, a great young running back doing great things in the league, man. Let me know what you guys think. Do you like the way they handled this? Do you like running backs get paid? It's a lot of people that hate when running backs get paid. It's just such a weird thing. They're like, oh, running backs won't get you wins in the playoffs. Well, the top paid quarterback didn't go far in the playoffs. The top paid receiver, they go for the top paid D in the corner, you know what I mean? So it goes a lot more into it when it comes to winning. It's a team game, and it depends on how you have your team set up. If you don't have a big franchise quarterback like the Panthers, they move out Cam Newton, so that's a lot of money they don't have to spend on a franchise quarterback. They have a lot more money they can sprinkle on other players like Christian McCaffrey. So it just depends on how you want to build your team. We look at a lot of teams back in the past. Baltimore Ravens, they had Trent Dilfer. He was not a franchise great quarterback, but he was good enough, and they had a great defense, great running game, and they got it done. They got a Super Bowl win. So it depends on what kind of team you want to build. You got the Kansas City Chiefs with Patrick Mahomes, you know what I mean, the gunslinger, the golden arm, and he's carrying his team back from comeback wins. So it depends on how you want to make your team. Me, I'm all about the running backs. If I got a running back like Christian McCaffrey, I'm paying him. I'm just letting you know right now. So you guys let me know what you guys think in the comments. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications. Follow me on Instagram at SDMT619. I'm out. SDMT!